Hello and welcome to the London Rivals podcast. We are back. Whoa, mate, it seems a while, mate. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of up and downs. West Ham just down. Tottenham just down and mediocre. And when I mean up and down, it's obviously Arsenal. But how you doing, boys?
Good, mate. Oh, good, mate.
Yeah, good, matey, thank you.
Yeah, not bad, mate. Been watching the Champions League tonight?
I haven't, I haven't watched a minute of it.
See, originally this was booked in for 9 o'clock, and then we thought, nah, this Champions League game looks quite tasty. We're going to have to go at it. And, mate, I've been watching it. But look, talking about Champions League, Wes, we'll start with you on a higher, because I know it's going to get quite emotional with you after you talk about this. But talk to us, mate, because we haven't caught up since last week. So, PSV, away. What a result.
Listen, mate, it's a great result. It's a great place, hard bound to go to. Obviously, don't need a striker in the summer now. We've got Marino and Calafiori up front, so we're all good. Scrap that idea. Don't need a striker. It's just mental, isn't it, mate? But do you know what I said to you boys before? The way teams play in the Champions League is completely different to the Prem. They don't low block, and it plays into our hands. We see PSG actually. They defended poorly, but they didn't sit at the back and just defend, which is only going to help, even without strikers, we're going to pick them off and score goals. But yeah, mate, no complaints. Great result, wasn't it?
So what do you reckon? Like, Premier League's done, but we're touching the Premier League in a minute. But you fancy yourself in the Champions League? Like, you've got to take it serious. It's the only competition now, isn't it?
I think I'd be stupid to say I fancy ourselves when we're looking at Atletico or Real Madrid in the next round, mate, if we're being serious.
But look, the thing is, you say this, anything can happen in the game of football. In that first leg.
Of course.
Red card, anything. You could go and pump them 3-0. No one knows, Like, it's a two-leg game. And
I mean, the only thing is we should have Saka back by then, and hopefully he would have played a few games by then. So he should be back, for that quarterfinal against whichever Madrid side it is. But it's still Real Madrid or Atletico Madrid, isn't it, mate?
So what do you reckon? So obviously, you're 7-1 up, are you? Feeling confident you'll go through?
I think it could be touch and go. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't like to be a bookies at the minute because
I'll tell you now, mate. If that was Spurs 7-1 up, I'd still be shitting myself, because I've been through this too long being a Spurs fan. Too long.
Well, it's no joke though. If you do get beat 6-0 tomorrow, he's got to go, isn't he? Surely.
If we got beat 6-0 tomorrow, mate, I'll never come back on this podcast ever again. I'll vanish. I'll be a ghost, mate.
No, I think you'd have to. Honestly, I think you'd have to just delete all social media. Just go AWOL, mate. Leave your missus the lot.
See that, kids? I'm off.
But look, P. Obviously, you weren't in European football last week. We all know that. I think you played Altrincham Town or something in a behind closed door friendly or something like that. Keep game minutes up. But what happened? What happened yesterday, mate?
I thought we started really well, mate, to be honest. I thought the first 10 minutes we were probably the better side and probably should have been winning the game. I don't know if you see the chance in the first 30 seconds, but we should be winning the game. We've got to be burying that from there. And then we let them back into it and we let Bruno and Tonali just dictate the speed of the play, and that's what they did. And we just didn't have the quality, mate. Is it a foul on the centre-half? I think it is, but I'm going to say that I'm a West Ham fan. Is it a foul on Bowen in the penalty area? Again, I'm going to say it is. They say that there's not enough contact there. But if you've pushed someone, you've pushed him. It doesn't matter how much contact there, you've pushed him. But ultimately, mate, we've got nothing down the middle. It's showing. It is showing. It's now just, for me, rebuilding for next year. Just play these kids and players in different positions and just start to see what we've got for next season now. We're not going to go down, but we're not going to probably finish any higher than what we are. So just experiment a little bit.
Where do you think you need to strengthen in the summer? You need a striker, don't you? And I think your centre midfield's weak.
I think you probably look at a left back or a left wing back now. He likes to play this 5. I think centre midfield, depending on what happens with Paqueta, and a striker. Look, I think there'll be a massive overhaul at West Ham in the summer. We're one of the oldest squads in the Premier League.
Mm.
Cresswell will get offered a new year because he's had a good end to the season, but Emerson will go. Antonio's only going to get offered another deal because he had a car crash and they feel sorry for him. Let's not beat around the bush here. Do you know what I mean?
Well, you ain't definitely beating around the bush here, mate.
I think,
Antonio, mate. And you're just coming out ruthless, mate. You're ruthless.
No, but it's true. It's true. If he had stayed fit all season, they would have run his contract down in the summer. Simple as. I think Fabianski will go. They'll let him go. He's 40 years old anyway, so probably not a bad time to let him go.
Was it his mistake yesterday? Was it Fabianski's mistake yesterday?
No, Fab didn't play yesterday. Areola played.
Areola's mistake for the goal.
I wouldn't say it was a mistake. I think
he just come charging out, mate. I thought he was going to do Roberts on Mateta.
He should have done. I think it was Harvey Barnes. He plays it in. It gets blocked by Talibo, and the centre midfielder and the right back are just looking at Harvey Barnes, and he does it again, and they score. You've got to close it. It's got to be quicker. Close it down quicker. Do you know what I mean? But as I say, I still think it's a foul on Kilman, mate. If I'm honest.
What are you thinking about West Ham, Wes?
I just think we're all pretty much in a similar situation now, aren't we, boys? Like we're just limping over the last few games of the season, just getting this over with. There's not much in it for any of us now, is there, in the league? Let's be honest. It's just about a case of seeing what we can do towards the end of the season, and then going to next season hopefully on a higher.
See, I'm kind of thinking like that. Like with me, with Spurs, it's. I'll be brutally honest. If Ange doesn't get us through Thursday night, he's gone. Like there is no excuses. He deserves to be getting a taxi home from the stadium on Thursday night. He's run out of excuses now. Yeah.
Well, then Ryan Mason to the end of the season.
Do you know what, mate? I've been down this road before, mate. It's depressing. Yeah, I know what's coming, and I don't know. But look, I'm not even going to touch on Spurs yet, Wes. Actually, I'm in control here, mate. I'm going to come to you about.
He's got all the power. Look at him.
I'm going to come to you with the Arsenal Man United game. Is that it? Title's done that from that point.
Yeah, I mean, I see all these, Arsenal fans. No, they react, man. We've got the worst reactionary fans, haven't we, I think, of the lot. And let's be honest, we've gone to United, Old Trafford away, and we've drew 1-1. It's relatively a good result, isn't it? But obviously when you're chasing down so many points and you're in this title race, you can't even call it that anymore, to be honest. It's a bad result, isn't it? But on any other day, I don't know what our fans sometimes expect us to do with the forward line we've got at the minute. Going away to Old Trafford, it's tough enough with a full strength team, on most days against United, let alone with the injuries we've got, to the forward players. So I thought it was a poor game all round, mate, to be honest, mate.
They seem to turn up against you, don't they?
They always do, mate. Yeah, they're going to turn up in the games like that. They turn up against Liverpool more often than not, didn't they? I just think it was a poor game. Brilliant free kick from Bruno. I thought Declan Rice was class. I thought he took his goal well, and I thought he played really well. He was man of the match for me, to be honest. David Raya made some great saves. In all fairness, we could have lost that game, if we're being honest. If I'm being honest here, if we would have come away 2-1, 3-1 lost, then I would have had no complaints. But yeah, as far as the title, mate, I mean, I said it on it a few episodes ago, didn't I? That I think the title was gone anyway, and I think that's just completely confirmed it now, ain't it?
Wes, do you actually think that it was a good free kick, or do you think Raya's got to do better? I think Raya's got to do better.
I think it was a bit of both. I think Raya's positioning was far too to one side, wasn't he? But I still think you've got to, get it up and down. I know there's this whole talk about the wall in there that was, 11 yards and 12% further back and all this rubbish, but it's still a well hit free kick. But yeah, you're right. You're spot on. I do think David Raya's positioning could have been a lot better. For sure. Definitely.
And then, boys, look, we come to Spurs, mate, and I think I've kind of clocked out this season now. I have, I'm done. Like, So come Thursday is kind of like that's all I'm hoping for. Yeah, Andrew's got 6 cup finals, and he has to take cup final by cup final, right? And that is starting on Thursday against AZ Alkmaar. The league, it is what it is. It's done. Like, mate, we're about 10 points off top 10 there, so we're not going to make top 10. We have to put all priorities in the Europa League, and I'll be honest, if we beat AZ, then we've got Frankfurt or Ajax, and we have to improve massively to get that, yeah?
Yeah.
The thing is, the only thing that's keeping me going is that we've had so many injuries that are all coming back at once, and he needs to try and get them fit. So, like, you've got Ramiro playing like 60 minutes, Van der Ven playing 30 minutes in the league games. We have to scrape through AZ Alkmaar no matter what. We have to
get a result.
Just get a result, get through, and then we've got the international break. Like, we've got Fulham. I'm not bothered about Fulham. Like, I think we'll get beat at Fulham. But then after the international break, we then go again in the quarter-final where hopefully no one else picks up injuries throughout. And then we're good to go because everyone should have match fitness by then, you know. But, mate, I don't even know what to say about Spurs.
What did you make of the Bournemouth result, Matty? Because, I mean, look, in the grand scheme of things, Bournemouth are a good side this year. So coming from 2-0 down to draw the game, it's not the worst result in the world, is it?
I'll be honest, Wes, mate, we should have got pumped, mate.
Really?
Yeah. Bournemouth could have been 3-0 up in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, you could see Ramiro was like lacking match fitness, like match sharpness. He was giving the ball away. Like, we just kept making stupid mistakes. There is so much pressure on that team right now. Like, every mistake, you hear the moans and groans from the fans, yeah? And all I'm saying is, on Thursday, that fan base has to get behind him. It can't be like how it was against Bournemouth, where it's quiet. It has to be a good atmosphere to get us over the line. I think a lot of fans have clocked out in the league now, mate. We've clocked out. Like, it is what it is. And every fan's now looking forward to the Europa League game just because it's something. You know? But in the league, we're done, mate. It's done. But it's either win or bust for Ange. Ange has to win Europa League or he's gone.
Yeah.
Matty, just to let you know, if you don't win Thursday, beating AZ Alkmaar ain't for everyone, is it? But we did when we had to.
Hey, you beat... What, you probably had Glenn Roeder or something in charge the last time you beat flipping AZ Alkmaar. You're going back...
No, the last time we beat AZ Alkmaar, mate, was under David Moyes on the way to victory of our European trophy that we've run in recent years.
They beat a couple of Wi-Fi passwords along the way as well, wasn't it?
Listen, but no, look, with Spurs, man, I don't even know, man. I've clocked out in the league. I've completely clocked out. It's Thursday, win or bust, mate. And if it is bust, boys, I'm done. Like, I'm not even jumping on this podcast no more. I'm done. I'm out.
I'll be honest, boys. This podcast's been bad luck for me. I think I've won one game since we started this bloody thing.
No. You've won zero Premier League games.
Well, 0 Premier League games, yeah.
I'd say P's had the bragging rights, though, hasn't he? He's had the bragging rights when West Ham went to the Emirates.
I say, you know, it's a sad state of affairs when you've got a West Ham fan with bragging rights. Bloody hell.
I was thinking that, boys. Coming on to this one, so we go to the weekend's games just gone. And obviously, Arsenal slipped up. West Ham lost. Tottenham drew. So not one of us are coming in with bragging rights. So I can see the mood in here right now, mate. We all look like we've been slapped around the face with a wet fish.
It's just that knowing that there's, apart from the European, there's nothing to play for, is there? Like in the league, it's the first time this season. Like I'm on a golf course playing. I'm not even checking the score, and you're like, nah, I'll never do that. That's what he's done to me already this season.
Pete, you must have felt like this from game week one, no?
Yeah, when you look at the start we had, mate, yeah. Just going back on what Wes said, though, when you look at how bad it is, it's the 11th of March. We still probably got 2.5 months left of the season. And the season's finished. Liverpool have won the league and the bottom three are gone.
Is this one of the worst Premier League seasons in a long time?
No, I'm not gonna agree with that. I think, when Man City run off with the leagues,
Do you think that's worse?
it's like, Man City are just this machine and stuff like that. But now when Liverpool are doing it, and like Arsenal have not been able to keep up with the pace in that, everyone's like, it's a boring season. The bottom three is definitely boring because that's going down. Like, at least Luton give it a bit of a fight last year. But I do think any team that comes up now is always going to struggle now, you know?
Yeah.
Because of the parachute money, like the money coming in, they're just going to struggle. Where the teams established in the Premier League have already had that money over the years.
Yeah,
but with regards to the Champions League, I think that the biggest one for the rest of this season is probably the Champions League spots. If Nottingham Forest or Newcastle or something like that get it, you know?
Yeah.
Well, again, that could go down to the 5th place, couldn't it? So we could end up with Bournemouth and Forest in there. Bournemouth, Forest and Newcastle. It all depends.
That would be mad.
We got Forest. It's been moved to a Monday night at Spurs. We got Forest on a Monday night.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, mate. If Tottenham are not in the Europa League, I don't even see myself tuning in to watch it. I feel distraught. That team has took so much out of me this season.
Mate, do you think not getting back into any type of Europe next season as well is going to affect, you know, the players you keep, the players you buy again?
100% it will. Yeah, 100%. The thing
like,
is,
like Romero, is Romero going to be happy with no European football?
I think Ramiro's going anyway. Like, even if Spurs do win Europa League, but like Van der Ven, Maddison, I think they're going to stay because they'll all look at themselves and be like, do you know what? We're part of this reason why we were so shit this year, you know? So I do think they'll give us one more year. But if we don't do nothing next season, then you could see like, but who's going to buy Van der Ven at the minute? Come on, no one's going to buy.
You're not with his injury history, are you? That's the thing. You're actually not.
But like you look at Poro and Dogi and stuff. And Dogi's been out half the season. Do you know what I mean? Poro, he's not been up to the levels that he was.
Yeah.
But I do think Spurs need a good kind of clear out. Like Tell, oh my God, I'll tell you now, if we go and buy him for 60 million, I'm fuming.
Yeah.
Absolutely livid. What I've seen of him, I know he's playing that position, but what I've seen of him isn't good enough. I would rather go and spend 60 million on Liam Delap in the summer than spend 60 million on Tell.
I think it was just a case of getting a body in though, wasn't it? When you look at it with all the injuries you had out, just getting someone through the door.
No, I agree. So what do you reckon? So obviously, where's your next game? PSV tomorrow. You might as well, mate, you could take a 3-0 forfeit loss, mate, and still go through, mate.
Just not turn up. Save the legs. Yeah, I mean,
so you got the weekend. You've got
Chelsea at home on the weekend.
You'd love to try and put a dent in their top 4 race, though, wouldn't you?
Yeah. I mean, I would. I mean, it depends what Chelsea turns up, innit? Chelsea are such a Jekyll and Hyde team. It depends what team turns up. It's just the same thing again with us. We don't look like conceding goals or loads of goals, if any, but we just don't look like scoring them in the Premier League. You know, and it's what's that? Since Leicester, since the 2 goals, what was that? None against West Ham. Was it one against Forest? Was it one against United? Just don't see where them goals are coming from. Martinelli's back now, but it's not like he was, you know, ripping up trees before he got injured, was it? But at least he gives you a bit of sinking behind, and we can play him down the middle as well. To be fair, a bit of pace. So, yeah, listen, I think it's going to be a tough game. It always is against Chelsea, but it'd be nice to beat them.
Bumped them last year, didn't you? Like 5-0 or something.
That was away. Was it away? Havertz scored a couple, didn't he?
I think you absolutely smashed them at the Emirates last year.
Yeah, Havertz got a couple, didn't
he? Okay, you got the weekend.
We are away at Everton, mate. I said earlier on, so speaking to my old man on the phone, I said if there's one fixture David Moyes looked at when he took that Everton job, it was West Ham at home, and he'll think he can get a one over on us. We have to wait and see, mate. It's
getting a bit sticky toffee for you, Emma's boys, isn't it?
Sticky toffee in a Beto, couldn't it? Let's be honest.
If Everton above you in the league.
Everyone's above us, mate, other than the bottom 4, which is Wolves, Leicester, Southampton, mate.
Everyone's above us.
And obviously we go to Fulham, and I look at that fixture and I'll sit there and think, I think we'll lose. Craven Cottage is a tough place to go anyway, and I look at it, we've got to play Fulham, Crystal Palace, Chelsea and West Ham.
Bloody hell.
And when you're in a bad run of form and the way the things are with the fan base at the minute,
You don't want London derbies, do you?
you definitely don't want to be going away to Chelsea and West Ham and them rubbing it in your face, you know. Like West Ham would be like 16th and we'd be 17th battling it out, you know, and West Ham win to go above us or something.
Oh, you're never in the last of it, mate, if we did that.
But no, look, Spurs are away at Fulham, mate. Honestly, I think we'll lose that. But I do think we'll beat AZ Alkmaar quite comfortably. I think we'll beat them about 3-0. 3-0. But boys, let's come to... Well, no, go on, Wes. I need a score prediction of you for your game against Chelsea.
I'm going to go an exciting 1-1.
1-1.
Just don't see loads of goals in it from us, especially. I mean, they ain't good players.
Chelsea can't defend.
Yeah, we can't score.
All right, 0-0 then.
Yeah, 0-0.
Hey, what about you? Well, what's your score prediction for Everton away?
Everton away. I'm going to go with 3-1 win West Ham. Just got a funny feeling. Bowen, Evan Ferguson, I think will start this weekend. I think he might get one as well.
What's going on with him? You signed him. He hasn't played much, has he?
Who, Bowen?
No, Evan Ferguson.
No, he hasn't, mate. He hasn't.
Am I right in saying there's some weird clause that if he plays so many games, you have to pay him more money or something? Is that right?
Well, first time hearing of that one, pal. You could be well right. You could be right.
I might have just made it up. To be fair.
Yeah, that's highly likely as well.
Hey, what do you reckon of Ferguson's time at West Ham so far? Like, do you think that's why Brighton weren't playing him? He come onto the scene a couple of years ago as this hot property, and now he's just falling off.
Yeah, massively, mate. Massively. I think. I don't know. As Bez just said, like he's not playing much for us. Do you know what I mean? So just coming off the bench, you got to give him a run of games.
It's hard, isn't it? It's hard to do that.
Really judge a striker.
Hey, what I'm trying to say is, you haven't got a striker. Antonio's injured you. You haven't got a striker. You've brought a striker in, and he's still not playing. You're playing like an out position in his role. So it says a lot for Ferguson right now that maybe his time in the Premier League might be done.
Yeah, remember, he's coming off the back of a 6-week layout. We signed him on the back of a 6-week layout. He just come back into training at Brighton. We signed him in January. So you can't just expect him to come in and starting games and playing 90 minutes. Do you know what I mean? It'll be like Van der Ven coming back next week, or he's back already, but starting next week and then just playing 90 minutes. It ain't gonna happen, is it? He's just gonna manage minutes.
He's got no fucking choice. He's gonna have to do it. He's gonna have to do it, mate. He ain't got a sounding matter. Do you know what though? With these injury-prone players, that's what gets me the most. Is you're on eggshells where people are like, he should be starting that game. You're like, if he's fit, if he's on the bench, he should be starting, yeah? But the thing is, we live in this place now where, especially with Van der Ven, every time he sprints with the ball, I'm telling him to pass it because I don't want his hamstrings to go.
Don't run.
Yeah, just don't run. Like, but then, I don't know, mate. Well, let's talk about this, boys, because with Arsenal, right? So you look at your points, what you had last season, to where you are this season. It's a massive fall off, isn't it?
Yeah.
Obviously, the league now, you're not going to go with the same energy what you did last season. So now you will drop more points, I think, in the Premier League because it's done. Yeah, you're going to concentrate on the Champions League, I believe. What happens in the summer with you guys?
I think it's a huge summer for us. We've just not official, but that we're getting the new director of football, the old Atletico Madrid fella, which is the first time we're probably going to have a proper director of football. Because listen, Edu wasn't a director of football, was he? He come from the Brazilian national team, whatever he was doing over there, which is completely different to club football. So this guy is coming in who's highly thought of in the footballing world. So get him in. Hopefully make some signings, mate. I think it's going to be a big summer for us. I mean, it needs to be.
You're losing some experience, though, aren't you? Like Partey.
Yeah, I mean, you've got Jorginho going. Partey, there's talks of another contract extension. And to be honest, I think if we're losing both, I think we should. Because it just sort of
a prison sentence for Partey.
We can't speak on that. We'll get chucked offline, won't we? Let's move on. So obviously potentially losing them two, but and then you look at, you got Tierney leaving. He's going on a free back to Celtic. You've got Zinchenko, he'll be gone. Kivior. So do we need another left-sided centre back?
But
Goalkeeper. We need a backup goalkeeper.
The players you're talking here, you're not going to get no money from them, are you? They're just players coming
No,
to
of course not. Of course not. I think the only ones we might get a bit of money for are Reece Nelson. You've obviously got Tavares money coming in because he was on loan with a guarantee by, I think, 15 million. So there's a few like that have been out on loan. But you're right, it's not going to generate loads of money, the players we're selling. I think you might see both, if not one of Martinelli or Trossard being sold.
Really?
I do, yeah. I mean, there was heavy links to Trossard to Saudi last summer window. And there's talks of him not signing a new contract. So I think they'll try, and if he doesn't want to sign a new deal, they'll try and get rid of him.
How long's he got left? Like, come the summer, how long's he got left?
It's like a year or a year and a half at the minute.
He'll have to go or something.
So it's time, yeah, he'll look to be going. And I think Martinelli, they may look to move Martinelli on. He just hasn't hit the heights, has he? There was a time.
See Trossard. You know, when during this crisis you've had in your front three, he's one player you expect if he's quite like to step up, and he hasn't, has he?
No, Trossard for me, he's a brilliant impact player. He comes off the bench, and he, last season he scored massive goals for us. In the Champions League, home leg, second leg against Porto, he scored the equaliser that took it to penalties. He scored some huge goals for us last year. I don't see him as a starter. He's just such an impact where he comes on and gets a goal or sets up a goal, changes a game. When he starts games, you sort of forget he's there in a lot of games. So I can see him moving on. And then, it's the striker thing, isn't it? The thing is, though, we've put in all this groundwork and, want this striker, want that striker. I don't want it to get to the window again. It's like the last day of the window and we still haven't signed this striker that we need. And it's got to be done early. You see a lot of the smaller teams, don't they? They do their business so early, and it's always the big clubs that never really get it done early. And it always baffles my mind, really.
I think Arteta's going to have to take a lot of accountability this year, especially this summer, on Arsenal's transfer scheme and who comes in and out that door.
The thing is, your lips, you're a little bit behind here, Pete. You were talking and your lips started moving again.
He's buffering.
The thing is with Arsenal, there's quite a few players leaving. And if you go and sign a striker, you're going to go and spend quite big money on a striker. But then your depth around the squad is going to get lighter because you ain't going to go and spend another 100 odd million. Do you know what I mean? I think.
Yeah, they're looking at Sesko. Well, Sesko's apparently he's got a bit of a weird buyout clause where it's like minimum 40 million and then it goes up to like maximum 65 depending on how he performed in the season. So it's going to be about 50 million for him. If you believe the Zubimendi stuff that is done, that's 55. And then you're looking at a backup goalkeeper. There's talks of Nico Williams has got a buyout clause on the left for 55. So you're only looking at 150 for three, players there.
What I'm trying to say, mate, if you lose Jorginho, Partey, Kieran Tierney, Zinchenko, Kyria, like these are players that just stepped in for you, like even this season. But all it takes is next season, I don't know, Lewis Skelly to get sent off again for the third time.
Yeah. Two, mate. Two. We don't count the first one, mate.
But mate, because I think in football, it does come down to having the depth. I've realised that with Spurs this season, mate. We've got no depth.
Yeah, but you say no depth, mate. You had like 8 of your starting 11 injured at the same time. That's
no, I agree.
That's unheard of. I mean, if you look at Arsenal, we started the season. You might not agree that they're all good strikers or good forward players, but we started with 7 attacking players, 7 forward players. It's unprecedented that 4 of them all get long-term injuries all at the same time, and you're left with a front 3, and one of them's a 17-year-old kid. It doesn't happen every season. So, you get people saying, "Oh, you need the squad depth, and you should have." Hindsight's a wonderful thing. you never once expect four of your front seven
No, I get that.
to get
I get
injured at
that.
the same time. And you can't just stack up and say, all right, I'm going to have 10 forwards this season in case four of them get injured. You know, it doesn't work like that, does it? So I don't think Spurs' squad depth is it's a massive concern, is it? It's just the problem you've had is you've had a huge amount of players injured all at the same time.
I think Spurs next season will be better shaped than we were this season because Bergvall, Archie Gray, they got a lot of minutes under their belt this year when it probably wasn't expected to. So they're probably like a year ahead of where they should be, you know?
Yeah, 100%. It's never a bad thing. I mean, you look at would Ethan Wanyeri have had as many minutes if Saka didn't get injured? I don't think he would have done.
But even Skelly.
Lewis Skelly, he come in when we had the injuries, you know, to Tierney, Zinchenko, and Calafiori, and these young kids have, you know, they're doing brilliant. But you're right. So maybe it's a good thing, you know, in the long run, it could be a good thing.
What about you, P? John Scales? What? He's one of your youngsters come through, isn't he? What about you? Clear out Steve Potts, Julian Dixon at this summer? What do you think?
Matty, you're killing me tonight. You know that, absolute killing me. We just have to wait and see, mate. I think we'll invest a lot more in our youth team than what we will buy, if I'm honest.
Do you think Potter will get any money in the summer?
Yeah, I think he will because I think there'll be he'll get rid of everyone that's about 30 plus. So I think there'll definitely be money there.
Do you think Kudos goes in the summer, P?
85 million buyout clause. Wouldn't be surprised to see Arsenal, Liverpool come in with a little cheeky bid. 85 million, 23-year-old.
Money though, isn't it? Yeah, done enough.
Yeah, I don't see him going for that. I think that's quite a lot of money for Kudos, to be honest.
23-year-old though, and only turned up against Arsenal because that's where he wants to go. So
Daniel Levy will give you Brian Gill as an exchange,
and you have to give him 20 million on top.
Yeah.
As Matty says, oh yeah.
But no, I think Spurs this year you'll see a couple of outs. Definitely, I think you'll see Basuma gone. I think Ramiro will go, and I think with that too, you're probably getting about 100 million between the two. Like Kuti will go for about 70 million. He's a good centre half, isn't he? I don't know, mate. I think we need to improve our front three. Brennan Johnson, I know he scores, but he's a tapping merchant at the back post, isn't he? 1 minute out of 90.
I see a lot of fans hating on him, mate.
I don't hate on him. I just don't think he.
Not you. I'm saying like I see a lot of stuff online. You see a lot of rubbish online, but he does get a lot of criticism. Is it fair criticism? Do you think that he gets?
I think it is pretty fair. I know he turns up at the back post 1 minute out of 90 and he gets a goal. But during that other 89 minutes, he doesn't take one player on. He doesn't impact the game in any other way. He doesn't really create anything, you know. Yeah. I know he keeps the pitch big, like he always stays wide. But mate, I want him to be like an Aaron Lennon. Do you know, every time we got the ball, he's just direct.
Driving at players, yeah.
Yeah, but he's just not it, mate. But mate, good player coming through. But again, mate, he needs a couple of years, you know.
He's only young, isn't he? You ain't seen much of him this year with his injuries.
Matty,
I think Richie will go as well. I think Richarlison will go as well.
Matty, what do you make of this? The Bournemouth manager being linked with Spurs today?
He's been on the radar for a while now. Him and the Dortmund manager, is it? The Dortmund manager? Look, the thing is, it's in Ange's hands, isn't it? Like, if he doesn't win Europa League, he's sacked. Like, that is it. Like, there is nothing else to it. So, I like the Bournemouth manager, though, Areola. I think he's a very good manager. Yeah. And when you looked at him against Spurs, he was bombing it up and down the touchline, screaming for every tackle. Do you know what I mean? Like, you could see, he's like Arteta, in a way, on the touchline.
He's put together a good, strong squad there as well, though, isn't he?
Yes.
Like, you think that, you know, Semenyo, Kluivert, I think they could get picked off in the summer. A lot of their players could leave.
Do you think Kluivert will go, though? I just think he's having a good season.
I think he's had a very good season. Semenyo is one I'd love to see at Arsenal.
Kirkes, the left back.
Kirkes, he'll leave. Yeah, he'll be gone, won't he? I would have thought. It's bigger and better things.
But realistically, obviously, Arsenal. Wes, do you see Arsenal next season in the top three, like it'd be at you, Man City, Liverpool?
Listen, you'd like to think so. I mean, this season, a lot of Arsenal fans, they're seeing it as a disaster. I don't see it as that. I don't see it as a disaster. I think when you add all the context, it's a huge disappointment this season, for sure. I don't see it as a disaster.
You say this though, Wes, you're still in the Champions League.
Yeah, of course. I'm talking Premier League, obviously. But I think we will be. I mean, like I say, if I was to ask you two now, what are Arsenal missing? Straight away, you'd say a striker or a decent forward player. You know, everyone can see it. So all these people that want Arteta sacked, what's the point? You know, if you sacked Arteta tomorrow and you brought in another manager, he still hasn't got the striker that we need, has he? You know, what difference is he going to make? For me, you know, boys, I'm Arteta's biggest fan. Always have been from day one. But if we get that striker and we get them signings in the summer, he's got no more excuses, has he? He's got nowhere else to turn. And it will be a case of next season that I think he does have to win something now. You know, seriously.
Shamak's still playing.
What's that?
Shamak, and he's still playing. You can't get him on the free.
Shamak, they're all out of contract. I was looking at some of the names actually that were out of contract. You have Diego Costa, Carlos Vela. Do you know what? I wouldn't have been against Carlos Vela. Hear me out on this one, because he'd only just retired, I think, or he only just left LA, not LA Galaxy, it was the other one, isn't it? Whoever it was, the other LA team. The goal scorer, knows Arsenal. You know, he was there when he was a youngster. Surely he could have done a better job than Mourinho up front for 6 months. Oh, Nunez has just missed.
A striker in your academy.
He left and went Man United, the young 16-year-old.
You must have another one. You must have another one.
We've got a young kid called Kyan Edwards. He's a good player.
But Wes, see, like the league's kind of done now. Is it not worth, like on the weekend against Chelsea, starting just a youngster up front now, just to the end of the season?
I don't see how it would hurt. I mean, the problem is they're not. You can see Arteta's not scared to start the youngsters. You've got young Ethan and Lewis Skelly, you know, playing in our team week in, week out at the minute. When you ask, is there one there? Obviously not. Otherwise, Arteta would have used him, I'm sure. You know, I don't think for a second that Arteta wants to play, you know, a centre midfielder up front. You know, if he's got a young striker that can do a job there. I think he's doing it because he has to, because he doesn't see anything in the young kids at the minute.
Hey, Grandpa, how long do you give him in this rebuild? Because obviously it's a massive rebuild what he's got to do here. He's got a big rebuild, isn't it?
I look at Arsenal and I think they've given Arteta, 7 years now? So probably give him 8.
I'll just keep adding years. 7 years? I didn't have a beard that long ago. 7 years.
No, but what?
Every time someone mentions the transfers or how long he's been there, yes, a year gets added each time.
All joking aside, I think you've got to be giving him 4 or 5 years, isn't you? Let's be honest.
Yeah,
I think in a rebuild. I think when you're prepared to go for a rebuild.
Liverpool boys, they've missed 2.
What's that?
Liverpool have missed 2 penalties.
Ooh.
I think this is it. If they score, it's all out, isn't it? They ain't missed yet. Nunez missed and Curtis Jones has just missed now.
Nunez is going to get absolutely slated.
Yeah, Nunez was terrible. That Curtis Jones was a worse penalty than that.
But P, with regards to that, you probably have to give Potter at least 3 years, don't you? Like, you can't really judge him on this season. He's just got to try and get his philosophy in place and give him a bit of money in the summer, no?
Yeah, as I say, I think 3-4 years, mate, and then he'll be judged before that. Your West Ham fan base is an absolute nightmare. But yeah, 3-4 years for me, and then we'll see where we are then.
You think you got 3-4 years?
Oh, boys, Liverpool ain't out. They are out.
Liverpool gone.
See you later, Liverpool.
Not good. Well,
they've won it so many times before. They're after the Premier League.
You know they're going to reel off the excuses. We didn't win it anyway. We're going to win the Champions League. We're going to win the Premier League. Yeah,
well, the thing is, if Villa win, they can meet PSG now, can't they?
Yeah.
But Pete, you sound 3-4 years, yeah?
Yeah.
But you've got 3-4 years left in you, Pete.
Probably not, mate. probably not, mate. No, I'm not gonna lie.
Mate, it's hard though. Wes, do you know when Arteta took over at Arsenal? Yeah, obviously you have to be prepared to go through that rebuild, don't you? So you know you've got to go through some
100%.
shitty times. And when
100%.
Ange come in, I was thinking, right, it's going to be 3 years, no matter what, 3-4 years. Last season, I thought, hang on, we're back in Europe. Expectations on this season, it's just been dismantled with injuries. I don't think I can give Ange another season if we finish like 12th or 13th for no European football. I feel like we've gone backwards massively.
Yeah, I mean, you've also got a, do you look at Ange and see Spurs, and do you see an identity there?
I did. I don't know more. Like, I remember the times where we used to look like we were going to score every time we went forward and create chance after chance. And now, I don't see that. I don't see us scoring many goals now. We don't create as many chances as what we used to. Do you know what I mean? Maybe that is a part of the team's just been battered, and we're not playing with the actual same lineup continuously,
Yeah.
I don't know. But we all know what Daniel Levy's about, mate. And I think it's because the Europa League that's it. But if he does win Europa League, he will probably be offered a new contract. Because it'd be like a Ten Hag deal. You can't just sack him after winning a trophy.
Yeah. I mean, but when you look at back at Arteta when he first come in, you got to look at it and think he was lucky there weren't fans in the stadium at the time, because I don't think he would have been in the job. I think that saved him, that there wasn't fans in the stadium, because when we went through that stage where we didn't win any in 10 games, terrible.
Yeah, he would have gone.
I think he would have 100% been gone.
He would have gone. But no, fair enough, boys. Well, should we do Randy Azes and that, see what's going on? You got anything to add, Wes, at all?
Listen, boys, just get ready tomorrow. It's going to be a tense game. Edge of the seat stuff tomorrow. Arsenal, PSV, lot to play for. It's all still to play for. So tune into that one, because that'll be a fun one, I'm sure.
How do you even go with tomorrow? Like, do you watch it? Do you just sit there with a Panda Pop?
I'll be honest. I think is EastEnders on or Emmerdale. I probably might even tune into that, to be honest.
I'll be honest with you, Wes. The biggest game tomorrow is probably in the Championship. Millwall travel to Leeds. You might as well watch that, mate. It'll be more exciting.
That's going to be a better game, to be fair. I mean, I see on the ticket exchange that the stadium is empty. It's a Category A game. I think it's like 80, 85 quid a ticket. It's mental.
But if you don't go, is there any punishment, or they just... Because I know you guys...
Yeah, I think it's similar to what Spurs and other teams have got, that if you don't sell your ticket, you get a strike and all that sort of stuff if you don't go. I mean, you'd try and sell it for anything, wouldn't you? 20, 30 quid to just get a bit of money back.
Nottingham Forest Football Club Sammy is spamming the TikTok saying Liverpool out.
Good lad.
So that is it now. Liverpool just have to win the league.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be tight in it, the league. So
go to the end of the season, last day.
It must affect European qualification though for that 5th place now, with Liverpool going out tonight, because Arsenal probably ain't going to make it past the next round. And
that's it. That's what everyone's saying. It's guaranteed 5th. You think about it, right? So, like you said, Pete, Liverpool are out. We're going to go through, but we're most likely going to go out. Aston Villa ain't going to go much further than PSG. You wouldn't have thought, yeah. So that's all of us out of the Champions League, all 4.
You're relying on Tottenham, Man United, and Chelsea.
Yeah, Chelsea are going to win it, but that ain't going to be good enough, is it? Say 2 Spanish teams win, Real Sociedad win Europa and Madrid win the thingy, then it's going to get given to the Spanish, isn't it?
Well, I think it's something to do with the Italians, and it's if Inter go further than the others, which at the moment is quite possible.
Yeah, so it's not. I mean, it was like this last year, wasn't it? Was it like this last year? And then all the English teams went out, and then it got given to Italy, wasn't it?
Yeah, it did. Yeah. Boys, before we close it up, what is your top? Let's say top 5. Yeah, only because if 5th get Champions League, what is going to be your top 5 incorrect order, and then Wes, you're going to snap this, and we are going to review it back at the end of the season and see how close we are.
Top 5. Arsenal 1.
What a joker!
Liverpool 1. I want to say Arsenal 2, but I could see us getting caught by Forest.
No.
I really could. Arsenal 2. Forest 3. I think Chelsea will nick 4. Man City 5th.
Pete?
Liverpool
I have to
1.
go back through that, Wes. Tomorrow, I'm going to go back through that tomorrow and write that down.
Yeah.
Liverpool 1.
Hang on, P. I've got to do a bit of Chris Tarrant here. Is that your final answer, Wes?
That's my lock it in. Lock
And
it
you
in.
don't want to you don't want to phone a friend?
No, lock it in, mate. I got no one to phone.
Picked up, Paul.
I'm going to go Liverpool first. I'm going to go Forest second. Arsenal third. I think Villa fourth. Newcastle fifth. I think Chelsea and City will come out of it.
Whew. Is that your final answer?
My final answer, matey.
You don't mean that. Look, I can see it in your face, Pete. You don't really mean that. You don't really mean it.
I mean it, mate.
You don't want
100%.
to stick. You sure you don't want to twist?
No twist, no phone a friend, no 50-50, straight down the middle.
Well, I am going to go Liverpool, Arsenal, Man City. I still don't think Nottingham Forest are going to get it.
Not top 5th. Top 5.
I think I might get 5th. I'm going to go Chelsea 4th and then Forest 5th.
Newcastle to miss out. Have we all got Newcastle missing out?
No, I've got them in there.
I'll pop off, boys, but if you two want to do the bottom 5, because your club's probably involved in that, I can go if you want. You yourselves out, yeah?
See, I do think Newcastle. I think Newcastle will lose the final on Wednesday. They're at the FA Cup, so they have to concentrate on the league. I don't even know what fixtures Newcastle got left. Villa, they're hit and miss, aren't they, Villa? No one really knows what to expect from Villa.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough. I don't know. Pete, anything from you, geezer? Or is your missus giving you daggers to the side of your face? Like,
Nah, I think for me, mate, it's just getting a win Saturday and come on in next week, happy man. I hope Chelsea beat Arsenal, and Wes can still sit here with no victories in the Premier League.
That's not very nice, is it?
boys, should we book in Thursday, 10 p.m. when Tottenham are through?
Absolutely not.
Yeah,
Absolutely not.
I suppose what we have to be. So look, we'll catch up and we'll see when we can all get on. Hopefully before the weekend and that. If not, then it will be after. We've already got the score predictions on, haven't we, for this weekend? So
Yeah, maybe a Monday night show.
See if is there any Monday night? Ain't no Monday night football next week, is there? Because he's coming on to the international.
We would have had the Carabao Cup final by then. Quick predictions on that. What do you reckon, boys?
Liverpool 2-1.
I think it'd be pretty straightforward for Liverpool, especially with their injuries they've got again now. Newcastle.
Liverpool 4-0.
Wow.
4-0.
Wow.
Jesus.
Yeah.
But look,
Wrong.
guys, boys, have a good evening, man. Thank you. It's been emotional. It's been a long time overdue, mate. Next time we won't leave it as long, and that part of that is my problem, mate. And sorry about that. But we will be back. We'll try and be back Monday or Tuesday. So thank you, TikTok and YouTube. I hope you enjoy your evening. And thanks again for tuning in. And drop us a follow and watch the clips that will be coming out over the next couple of days. Enjoy
Cheers,
your
boys.
evening, guys, and up the PSG.